stories tonight in Wine News. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. rejects the National Maritime Council's recommendation to publicize the schedule of the resupply mission in the West Philippine Sea. Former Senator Leila De Lima enjoys her unconditional freedom following the acquittal of her third and last illegal drug case by the Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court. The Department of Migrant Workers has announced that they are likely to repatriate 27 Filipino seafarers from another bulk carrier which was attacked by Houthi rebels over the weekend. And we will discover why the European Union or EU showed interest in developing security and defense partnerships with Japan and South Korea as security environments change in both regions. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Monday, the 24th of June, 2024. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Hardy Delgado. First in the news. The Department of National Defense reiterated that the harassment by China at the Ayungin Shoal was not an accident or a result of misunderstanding. Meanwhile, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. did not approve the National Maritime Council's recommendation to publicize the schedule of the resupply mission in the West Philippine Sea. Nel Maribohok reports.
Department of National Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr. said on Monday, June 24, that the Ayungin Shoal incident transpired last June 17 between the Philippine troops and China Coast Guard was not a misunderstanding. The defense chief said the Philippine government is not downplaying the incident.
We are not downplaying the incident. It was an aggressive and illegal use of force.
According to Secretary Teodoro, this was not an accident but was intentionally done by China.
We see the latest incident in Ayungin not as a misunderstanding or an accident. It is a deliberate act of the Chinese officialdom to prevent us from completing our mission.
According to the Secretary, the Philippines' policy in the West Philippine Sea remains unchanged. Not a single inch of territory will be surrendered to foreigners. He stated that the Philippines will continue to defend its rights in the West Philippine Sea without the need to ask for permission or inform anyone. In connection with this, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. decided not to publicize the schedule of the rotation and resupply mission in the West Philippine Sea, which was earlier recommended by the National Maritime Council.
The President has reiterated that we will not publish schedules of any RORE.
The DND chief said this was agreed upon when the Commander-in-Chief visited the Armed Forces of the Philippines troops involved in the June 17 resupply mission at the Western Command in Palawan on Sunday. Nel Maribohok, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Former Senator Leila De Lima is now enjoying her unconditional freedom after several years of fighting her illegal drug cases. De Lima was imprisoned during the Duterte regime in 2017. Dante Amento tells us why.
The Muntinlupa Regional Trial Court, Branch 206, has acquitted former Senator Leila De Lima in her third and last illegal drug case on Monday, June 24. Judge Hener Hito granted the demurrer to evidence by De Lima and her co-accused, such as former Bureau of Corrections Director Franklin Bucayo, Ronnie Dayan, Junel Sanchez, and Jose Adrian Dera. In its decision, the court said that the prosecution did not prove the guilt of the accused beyond reasonable doubt. Former Senator De Lima stressed that she is vindicated about the court's ruling.
Napakalaki po ng ginhawa at saya ang nararamdaman ko ngayon. Mas mapapanatag at makakatulog na po ako ng mas maluwag. You know, with the grant of our demurrer to evidence, which is tantamount to acquittal, That means I am now completely free and vindicated. It's very liberating. At alam nyo naman ito, I respected the rule of law despite the pain and the injustice of it all.
She also expressed gratitude to his family, supporters, and the Filipinos who believe that she is innocent and continue to support her long, tough fight.
Salamat din po sa aking legal team for their hard work and their extraordinary commitment in defending me against these fabricated, spurious charges. Salamat din po kay Honorable Judge Hener Guito for his strong sense of justice and fairness.
De Lima also has sent a strong message to former President Rodrigo Duterte, whom she believes is behind the persecution against her. She would allegedly give full support to the International Criminal Court or ICC for the sake of that experienced injustice under the former administration.
Kay Ginoong Duterte, kayo ngayon ang mananagot sa mga kasalanan niyo sa taong bayan. Isa lang po akong biktima. Libo-libo mga Pilipino ang pinaslang nila nung nakaraang madugo at peking war on drugs. Maraming pamilya ang naulila. Yung iba nga hindi nga pinatay pero nabubulok naman sila sa mga kulungan dahil sa mali at baluktot ng pagpapatupad ng batas.
Meanwhile, the prosecution said that they would still study the next possible recourse to be utilized.
We have not yet read the decision itself, no. So we are not discounting the possibility of exhausting all proper legal remedies.
Dante Amento, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The price of rice in the market next month could range between 42 to 49 pesos per kilogram. House Speaker Martin Romualdez assures that the government continues to take steps to further lower the price of rice. This follows the signing of Executive Order Number 62 by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. aimed at reducing rice tariffs from 35% to 15%. Rosa Licons will tell us why.
The price of rice is expected to reach between 42 to 49 pesos starting next month. This estimate is based on the assessment of rice industry players who met with House Speaker Martin Romualdez. This is due to movements in the price of rice in the world market and the anticipated effects of Executive Order Number 62 signed by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.
Yung target natin by itong buwan na Hulyo, itong July, magkakaroon tayo ng bigas at 45 to 46 pesos a kilo.
EO 62 aims to reduce the tariff imposed on imported rice from 35% to 15% until 2028. It will be implemented 15 days after its publication in the official Gazette on June 20. House leaders engaged with stakeholders from the Philippine Rice Industry Stakeholders Movement, or PRISM, and National Food Authority Officer in Charge Administrator Larry Lacson. PRISM recently appealed for the postponement of the implementation of EO 62 to allow farmers and stakeholders time to prepare for its anticipated effects. PRISM is composed of seed growers, farmers, millers, traders, importers, and retailers.
Andun pa rin naman po kami na umaasa na sa pagdating ng review ng nitong EO ay maisusulong na namin yung aming mga recommendations, especially dun sa ating mga farmers para po maprotektahan sila doon sa na mabigyan sila ng kaukulan na ayuda.
The House Speaker was asked when the promise of rice priced below 30 pesos per kilo in the market could be achieved.
Siguro by next year, nandyan na tayo, if not soon. But sa mga kadiwa, that will soon be available as well.
The government also announced an alignment of flood control funding allocations for irrigation to aid local rice production. Furthermore, the government reiterated its assistance for farmers amidst concerns over the flooding of imported rice in the market due to lower tariffs. Apart from this, hundreds of thousands of farmers are feared to be displaced.
Pagdating po sa sektor ng rice mismo sa kabuuan, napakalaki pong stakeholder yan ay yung ating mga magsasaka. So ang NFA po, ang commitment namin dyan ay laging maalalayan ang mga magsasaka sa kanilang pagtatanim. No?
Hindi naman po mapapabayaan ng farmers po dito. Tulad po ng aking nasabi rin nung nakaraang press conference po natin, for 2024, garantisado po yung suporta ng RCEF sa ating po mga farmers.
On Sunday, June 23, Samahang Industriya ng Agrikultura or SINAG announced their plan to file a temporary restraining order or TRO before the Supreme Court to block the implementation of EO 62. Apart from this, the group also plans to file a complaint with the Office of the Ombudsman against National Economic and Development Authority Secretary Arsenio Balisacan and other officials of the Tariff Commission for allegedly implementing tariff reductions without conducting any public consultation. Meanwhile, regarding the circulating photos of purported Romualdez rice on social media, according to Speaker Romualdez,
we haven't sanctioned that, so that will be rectified. But the most important thing is that we bring rice to every Filipino table at affordable prices.
Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And for the news abroad. The European Union looks to develop security and defense partnerships with Japan and South Korea. Joselito Liquido will tell us the details live. Good evening, Joselito.
Good evening, Marielle. The European Union, or EU, showed interest in developing security and defense partnerships with Japan and South Korea as security environments change in both regions. This would be the Union's first partnerships of its kind with a country in Asia. The partnership would increase opportunities for Japan to participate in European research and development programs to improve their defense technology, as well as a platform to expand their hardware sales in the West. This also addresses these threats from neighboring countries such as China and North Korea. Furthermore, South Korea looks to expand its weapons industry to Europe, which sparked when Poland placed orders for Korean K2 and K9 tanks. Romania, Finland, and Estonia have also shown interest in acquiring South Korean weaponry. The European Union aims to reach an agreement by the end of the year. In addition, the EU also considered partnerships in areas like cybersecurity and maritime defense, as both regions share concerns about cyber attacks from China and Russia. Back to you, Marielle.
Thank you, Joselito Liquido, for that live report. Ukrainian missile debris fell over Crimea last Sunday, killing 4 people and wounding 144. Russia is blaming both the United States and Ukraine for a deliberate missile strike on civilians. Meanwhile, 1 person was dead and 11 wounded in a fresh Russian strike on Kharkiv. Maven Carizo will tell us why.
Russia points to the United States as responsible for Ukraine's attack on the Russian-annexed Crimean Peninsula on Sunday, June 23. 4 of the U.S.-delivered Army Tactical Missile System, or ATACMS missiles, equipped with warheads used in the attack, were shot down by Russian air defense system. Meanwhile, the ammunition of another missile detonated mid-air. Fragments from the intercepted missiles fell on people holidaying near a beach on the north of Sevastopol city, killing 4 people, including children, and injuring 144. Sevastopol Governor Mikhail Razvozhev stated 82 were sent to hospital, including 27 children. Russia annexed Crimea 10 years ago and considers it an integral territory. However, most of the world still considers it as a Ukraine territory. Russia alleges the flight coordinates on the missile, which have a 300-kilometer or 186-mile range, were supplied from U.S. spy satellites. Deputy Chairman of the Security Council, Dmitry Medvedev, described the incident as a vile, despicable act against our people. Both the U.S. and Ukraine have not commented on the attack, which occurred one day after Ukraine said Russian strikes on Kharkiv killed 1 and injured 10. Mayveen Cariso, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, Harleen. Thank you, Marielle. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Authorities are closely monitoring the possible departure of officials from the recently raided illegal POGO hub in Porac. This follows the attempted departure of the manager of Lucky South 99, who was prevented from boarding a plane in Davao City yesterday. Ryan Lacanlale details why.
On Monday, June 24, the Chinese national was uploaded at Davao City International Airport yesterday. He is scheduled to be transferred to Metro Manila. The female Chinese manager of the raided Lucky South 99 in Porac, Pampanga, attempted to leave the country but was intercepted by authorities. She is one of the persons of interest identified by the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission or POGO, who fled before they raided the illegal POGO in Porac, Pampanga early this month.
Then pinakita namin yung kanyang pangalan, passport doon sa ating mga witnesses at positively identified na siya nga po yung taong person of interest natin. So we are requesting immigration to send her back to Manila para may kulong po siya doon sa Bikutan Immigration Facility.
According to POGO, they are currently monitoring 12 to 14 officials of Lucky South 99 to prevent them from leaving the country.
So kasama rin po dyan, siyempre, yung pamilya Guo. So yung ilang mga business associates nitong pamilya Guo. So anong kasiguraduhan? Naka-alert na po sila. So ibig sabihin, bagamat wala pa pong immigration lookout bulletin order, kapag nag-attempt silang lumabas ng Pilipinas, ipagbibigay alam po yun sa Immigration Commissioner.
According to POGO, they are currently monitoring 58 illegal POGOs in the country, referred to as an IGL in POGO's new terminology for Internet Gaming License. Only 43 are registered as legal or licensed with POGO. However, according to the Commission, many of those they monitor are clearly illegal and never applied for a license from the beginning.
At saka meron pa kaming minomonitor na ibang mga scam farms, online gaming hubs na talagang walang lisensya ever. So marami-rami pa ho ito. Mas maraming illegal kaysa doon sa merong permit or lisensya.
Due to the magnitude of the problem posed by illegal POGOs in criminal activities, POGO encouraged all local government units and the public to collaborate in dismantling these illegal POGO hubs.
Lastly, we also would like to call on the community sapagkat hindi ho kakayanin kahit whole of government pa po ang magsama-sama sa sobrang dami ng problemang ito, hindi kakayanin kapag hindi ho tayo tutulungan ng community. So I hope our countrymen do join us in this fight. Otherwise, baka hindi natin mapagtagumpayan ito.
Ryan Lacanlale, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Another bulk carrier carrying 27 Filipino crews was attacked by Houthi rebels while traversing Red Sea over the weekend. The Department of Migrant Workers stated they are likely to repatriate the affected seafarers. Asher Kadapan Jr. explains why.
Seafarers who experience near-death situation need psychosocial support, according to the Department of Health, like in the case of the 21 crews of the MV Tudor who were repatriated recently by the Department of Migrant Workers. With another Houthi attack to a bulk carrier carrying 27 Filipino seafarers, Migrant Workers Secretary Hans Leo Kakdak shares in an interview that they are also likely to repatriate the MV Transworld Navigator crew. Secretary Kakdak says the repatriation of the Filipino seafarers who experienced the attack may probably be conducted upon the arrival of the cargo ship to a safe port. Based on the report of the United States Central Command, the MV Transworld Navigator was attacked by Houthi rebels while traversing Red Sea in the early morning of Saturday, June 23. This was done through missile attack using an uncrewed aerial system, but a video went viral showing another attack of the MV Transworld Navigator using an uncrewed surface vessel. Conversations among Filipino crew can be heard in the background before the missile blast.
Bilis pa naman. Wala tao. Wala tao, sir. Sir, sir. Starboard. Ano, sir?
The U.S. CENTCOM confirms that the crew reported minor injuries and moderate damage to the ship, but the vessel has continued underway. Asher Kadapan Jr., UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Authorities are set to file criminal charges against the perpetrators of illegal activities in the raided POGO hub in Porac, Pampanga. Meanwhile, a lawmaker wants its mayor to be suspended over his alleged negligence. This report will tell us why.
The Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commissioner PAOK is set to file before the Department of Justice charges of kidnapping and serious physical injuries against those behind the illegal activities in Lucky South 99 POGO Hub in Porac, Pampanga. On Monday, June 24, PAOK re-entered the compound with Senator Sherwin Gatchalian to show the extent of operations inside the POGO Hub. Both the authorities and the lawmaker are confident that they have established links between the POGO hubs in Porac and Bamban, including its mayor Alice Guo.
So may common personalities po ang Porac at saka yung Bamban. So binubuo namin po iyon, nakita na namin yung matrix, may mga documentary evidence na kami sa ilang mga tao. Kaya lang may mga beneficial owners na hindi natin nakikita sa mga SEC at saka PAGCOR documents.
Ang masasagot ko lang yung mga kausap niyang tao, nakita rin dito sa POGO Hub na ito.
An immigration alert has been requested against the 12 persons of interest tagged in the illegal operations behind the Porac POGO Hub. This as one POGO official allegedly tried to leave the country.
Just last night, may pinahold kami sa Davao Airport. And ito yung isa sa mga boss na pinagdududahan namin. So, ginagawa na namin yung mga dokumento ngayon para at least ma-interview namin at ma-imbestigahan.
53 vaults inside the POGO Hub are expected to be opened tomorrow. Gatchalian, for his part, wants to recommend to the Department of the Interior and Local Government the suspension of Porac Mayor Jaime Capil for his alleged negligence over the POGO mess.
Nakaka-dismaya na ganito kalaking POGO Hub hindi niya nalaman. Nung narinig ko yung investigation ng provincial government ng Pampanga at sinabi niya hindi niya alam at hindi siya pinapapasok at si Kapitan hindi rin pinapapasok, dapat naging red flag na yan. Kung ang isang mayor hindi pinapapasok, kung ang isang kapitan hindi pinapapasok, magduda ka na. Dapat magsumbong ka na sa polis, hindi yung tatahimik ka. Dahil kung tumahimik ka, para ka nang kasama dun sa mga krimen na nangyari. Kikita natin, merong negligence na nangyari dahil pinabayaan niyang mangyari ito sa kanyang lugar.
The Porac mayor has yet to comment on the matter, but he earlier denied accusations that he is a POGO protector. Jorge Delgado, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
Philippine National Police Chief Police General Romel Francisco Marbil confirmed today, June 24th, that there were alleged unreported killings in the raided illegal POGO hubs in Bamban, and in Porac, Pampanga. These serious allegations have led to the relief of the entire Bamban Municipal Police Station, as well as the Chief of Police of Porac and the Provincial Director of Pampanga. General Marbil emphasized that these incidents should have been reported to the national headquarters and thoroughly investigated. As a result, an investigation will also be launched into the Regional Director of Police Regional Office 3, Police Brigadier General Jose Hidalgo Jr., for possible accountability.
Hindi siya kasi normal Sa ibang bagay, bakit may mga foreigners na namamatay na doon. And dapat, for their own, dapat inimbestiga nila. Asa ba nagagaling to? Hindi kasi nagiging natural sa kanila pag may ganyan. Dapat hindi. Inaalam nila. Then sa Bamban naman, why do we need to relieve all these people? Again, ganun rin, may mga unfounded bodies.
Department of the Interior and Local Government Secretary Benhur Abalos lauded the Philippine National Police in their relentless campaign against illegal drugs. Secretary Abalos confirmed that more than 13 billion pesos worth of illegal drugs were confiscated from January 1 to June 21, 2024 in 23,515 operations. A total of 28,804 individuals were arrested, including a member of the Tinga drug syndicate in Taguig. From the suspect, Joel Tinga, authorities confiscated 360,400 pesos worth of shabu. Joel Tinga was previously sentenced to life imprisonment by the Taguig Court in 2016 for drug charges. Although the Court of Appeals upheld the decision of the Regional Trial Court following Tinga's appeal, the Supreme Court overturned it in 2021 due to procedural breaches and lapses. According to police records, Joel Tinga was rearrested on June 30, 2023 for selling and possession of illegal drugs. Authorities stated that Tinga's rearrest is a testament to the PNP's commitment to eradicating illegal drugs. Additionally, in February 2017, Eliseo Eli Tinga, wife of Noel Tinga and cousin of former Taguig Mayor Freddy Tinga, was also sentenced to life imprisonment over drug charges.
At gusto ko rin bigyan diin at pasalamatan, of course, aside from ating Chief PNP, ang tatlong unit na talagang dito laban sa droga. Number 1, ang 4A sa pangunguna ni General Kenneth Lucas. Sumunod, of course, dito ang ating PIDEG. And of course, ang ating Region 7, si General Abirin. Ito yung nagpapatunay na laban sa droga, talagang maigting na kampanya ang ginagawa po sa pamumuno ng ating Philippine National Police.
The Cybercrime Investigation and Coordinating Center, or CICC, seeks to coordinate with the National Telecommunications Commission, or NTC, regarding the issue on unregistered SIM cards that were still used in various types of scams. According to CICC, many SIM cards are still not registered, despite the implementation of the SIM registration law. Jed Neresina will tell us why.
An investigation by the Cybercrime Investigation and Coordinating Center, or CICC, has uncovered that thousands of unregistered SIM cards are allegedly being used to defraud the public. In light of these findings, the CICC is continuously reminding the public to ignore or not entertain texts or calls from unknown numbers. Authorities are urging everyone to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activity to help combat this growing threat. Stay informed and stay safe.
Well, to play safe because of the prevalence of these scams, marami talagang naglipanan yan. When you are unsure, do not reply. Kung text message yan, lalo na kung may instructions galing sa bangko, you don't even reply to that. Instead, you go to your bank. Sabihin natin, aksidenteng sinagot mo. Diba? Sabihin na lang natin, do not engage them anymore. Pag kinakausap kayo, nagbebenta o kung ano-ano, disengage immediately. You don't need to entertain them.
Because of this problem, CICC plans to coordinate with the National Telecommunication Commission or NTC to find a way to stop these activities.
Kasi we need to sit down with NTC to discuss, kasi silang regulator natin, hindi naman kami ang regulator, no? We will provide the information to NTC. Ito na yung findings namin. Is there a violation? Ano ba ang dapat natin gawin to curtail this kind of modus para ma-warn yung public o matanggal natin yung mga scammers sa system?
CICC also found some loopholes in the systems of telecommunications companies, so they wait for the explanation regarding the issue. Moreover, it is better to report these texts or calls to authorities like CICC rather than replying or entertaining those possible scams. Jed Meresina, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The floodings in areas of Malabon and Navotas have worsened due to knee-deep levels since the navigational gate has been compromised by the forced entrance of a barge last June 7. JP Nunez will tell us why.
Some residents in Malabon and Navotas are struggling as floodings in their streets worsens during torrential rains. This after the barge with body number of MBDUE 6080 compromised the North Navotas Navigational Gate last June 7. Since then, the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA can only raise the gate up to 80%. During high tide, the water from Manila Bay overflows to streets of Navotas and Malabon.
Sa ngayon po, hindi namin maiangat fully na nagkakos po ng pagbaha sa ilang portion ng Navotas and Malabon.
According to Malabon City Mayor Jeannie Sandoval, 4 barangays in their area submerged to a knee-high flood. These are Barangay Hulong Duhat, Dampalit Flores, Tanyong, and Concepcion.
Ayaw na rin po namin manumbalik yung mga mapapait na nakaraan na lagi po kaming sikat dyan sa pagbabaha. Matagal na po kaming maayos, ngayon na naman ulit nangyari ito.
In Navotas, affected areas are Barangay Tansa and portions beside the river.
Before nangyari po ito, na-manage natin yung flood. Kaya lang pag nasira po talaga itong navigate, talagang papasok yung tubig. No? Kahit anong gawin nating pumping, dahil lagpas yung tubig doon sa mga dike po natin, talagang wala po tayong magagawa at papasok po yan.
According to MMDA Acting Chairman Attorney Don Artes, the navigational gate will be lifted by a crane as the mechanical arms raising the gate malfunctioned. After this, they will be able to determine the total damage caused by the barge. The total amount compromised from the navigational gate cannot be identified yet, but if the whole navigational gate will be repaired, it may cost up to 300 million pesos. Meanwhile, the sanction and penalty to the owner of the barge will still be under evaluation, but the MMDA rules out possible ban to their operation.
Iimbestigahan pa po yan kung ito ba talaga ang cause. Kasi matagal na po talagang ganyan ang sitwasyon natin sa ilog. Yung possible sanction po, tingin ko dapat lang na may managot po dito sa nangyari.
JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
As Mount Canlaon remains at alert level 2, the safety of the residents living near the volcano is a top priority. This precautionary measure is the reason why more than 1,000 evacuees residing within the 4-kilometer permanent danger zone of Canlaon have been relocated. Gladys Tuabi details why.
Entry in the 4-kilometer radius permanent danger zone of Mount Canlaon is strictly prohibited as it remains alert level 2, while some evacuees have already returned to their homes and slowly go back to normal. 259 families, or more than 1,000 individuals in the evacuation centers, were not yet allowed to go home as they are living within the said permanent danger zone, mostly from Barangay Biak na Bato in La Castellana Municipality.
Yung sinasagawa nating preparations ngayon is to assess yung continuing preparations, continuing response natin. Kasi alam natin hindi masusustain ng LGU yung response natin kung magtatagal pa ito. Nasabi natin magkakaroon ng evacuation fatigue yung mga evacuees natin. So the different government agencies have to step up na makuha yung responsibility sa pagbigay ng tulong doon sa mga affected na mga community.
Meanwhile, it is being studied to prohibit living in the danger zone for the safety of the residents.
There is a move na permanently hindi na sila pababalikin doon kasi nga permanent danger zone yun. Kaso we have to take into consideration din yung LGU, kinoconsider din nila na yung livelihood, mga farmlands at yung mga livestock ng mga families, doon na sila naka-establish sa loob ng 4 kilometers permanent danger zone. So pinapag-aralan na ngayon, it's up to the LGU kung ano yung mga tulong na pwedeng or mga options, mga tulong na pwedeng maibigay sa kanila.
The Office of the Civil Defense Western Visayas said the local government unit is studying the possible options and steps to be done as the means of living of these residents will be mainly affected once this move will be pushed through. Gladys Tawabi, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And in other global news, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has stated that he is willing to consider a partial deal to bring back some people who are still being held captive in Gaza. However, he made it clear that he wouldn't agree to any deal that included stopping Israel's fight in Gaza, despite what the United States said about a proposal from Israel possibly leading to the end of the fighting. Jared Moral will tell us why.
Many Israelis have been protesting against Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his government, asking for early elections and a deal to bring back the captives. United States President Joe Biden proposed a ceasefire last month that would pause the fighting for 6 weeks and would include releasing some Israeli captives in Gaza and Palestinian prisoners held in Israeli jails. After that, negotiation for a permanent ceasefire could begin. Even though U.S. officials have said that Israel came up with a proposal, various Israeli officials, including Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, have promised to keep fighting until Hamas is gone and have not fully supported the proposal publicly. Netanyahu also said expressed in an interview that Israel's strong military attack in the southern Gaza city of Rafah was almost finished. There has been more than 8 months of war in the Gaza Strip since Hamas attacked Israel, causing the deaths of 1,139 people, with dozens of people still being held captive in Gaza. Israel's military attack in Gaza has killed at least 37,598 people, according to the Palestinian Territory Ministry of Health. Netanyahu said that troops would soon be sent to the northern border with Lebanon, but only for defensive reasons. Many civilians from northern Israel and southern Lebanon have had to leave their homes, and there have been almost daily fights between Israeli forces and Hezbollah fighters in Lebanon since the Gaza war started. Gerard Moral, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Former President Donald Trump retracts his recent pledge to grant green cards to all overseas students graduating in the United States. On the All In podcast, Trump proposed automatic green cards for all college graduates, including those from junior colleges, to stay in the country. However, after backlash from conservative immigration groups, the campaign stressed that any green card plan would involve a strict vetting process. According to Chris Chmielewski, president of the Immigration Accountability Project, the plan could increase job competition, lower wages, and pose national security risks. Meanwhile, Trump's campaign spokesperson Caroline Leavitt clarified that the green card proposal would include strict vetting to exclude individuals deemed harmful to American interests, emphasizing that only the most skilled graduates would be allowed to stay. EU officials have consented to negotiate on import taxes to mitigate the risk of escalating prices for Chinese electric cars amidst persistent tensions. Axis Salem will tell us why.
The European Union, or EU's risk of rising Chinese electric car prices may decrease following the agreement between the two countries to negotiate import taxes. Despite ongoing tensions, top officials from both areas addressed tariffs on Saturday, June 22, and decided to talk about them more. The EU intervened following the US recent increase in tariff on Chinese electric cars from 25% to 100%. The organization and China have agreed to negotiate for the first time since the EU threatened 38% tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles, accusing China of protectionism and trade rule breaches. The spokesperson confirms candid and constructive call between EU Trade Commissioner Valdis Dombrovskis and Chinese counterpart Wang Wentao, promising continued engagement at all levels in the coming weeks. However, he emphasized EU's opposition to Chinese EV industry funding and emphasized that any proposed tariffs must address the harmful subsidization of the Chinese EVs. Moreover, China reaffirmed its disagreement with the EU and met with German Vice Chancellor and Federal Minister for Economic Affairs and Climate Action, Robert Habeck. China's Ministry of Commerce and Germany have expressed opposition to tariffs, threatening to file a lawsuit with the WTO to defend their legitimate rights and interests. The proposed charges for electric cars in China could range from 17.4% to 38.1%, based on brand negotiations and EU investigation, in addition to the current 10% rate. Axis Salem, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Mariela Toza reporting live from Australia. Good evening.
And before we close, we will leave you with a word, giving glory to God. From the book of Psalms, chapter 36, verse 3, it says, "The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He hath left off to be wise and to do good." And those are the reasons behind the news, June 24, 2024. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold. Because we need to know. We will always ask why. I'm Hardin Delgado. We serve the people. We give glory to God.